What is up, guys? Today we are going to be testing finally the ultimate Steam Deck with the mods, but we're not going to be using our dinky monitor that was tied to our 5800X here, and that's this bad boy right here. This one's actually my secondary monitor. My main monitor is the Kimosabi, the LG 48-inch OLED 120 hertz TV, and typically this bad boy is powered by a RTX 3090 paired with a Ryzen 5800X in a custom water loop done by your boy. It's housed in a O11D Mini, and it has these custom fan shrouds that I built right here. These are called the Ultimate. I'm sorry, not Ultimate. They are called um, I forgot what they're called. Okay, it's all good. We're gonna go back over here. So we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna run it on stock first. I believe we're gonna be playing Miles Morales, but we might have to switch to something like Monster Hunter because we are having some issues with having this thing upscale in SteamOS. We are in our Ultimate Steam Deck, essentially Mark, I think 5 now, but this is technically Mark 4 still because we only added onto it. We haven't done a full redesign yet. Actually, that's a lie. I have been working on a full redesign. The issue is I'm kind of lacking the motivation on designing right now. So that's the reason why this has been taking so long. Basically, it's I've redesigned this thing so many times. It's kind of hard to motivate myself to do it again. Um, I'll get to it one day. It happens. But I did get a inspiration scrolling through Thingiverse, and I saw this box, and I was like, I wonder if this box can be reconfigured to house a M.2, and it can. Um, So here we are now. So I went ahead and mounted it to this Ultimate Steam Deck using your boy's favorite tool, hot glue. I need to figure out a screw top situation for this. This little tiny bolt, which shouldn't be too hard. We'll just 3D print like a thumb screw. That's what we'll do that in a later video. So right there, it screws in just like that. Still going to be easier than taking the whole Steam Deck out or even taking it on and off out of this port. So problem here now is our lid won't close, but that's fine. I don't care if the lid doesn't close because that lid's only for portable mode. So like we do in most other videos, it's very much so a proof of concept kind of thing. Like if it works properly, can we make it look better, more sleeker? And that's kind of how I do everything. I do everything. How well does it work? And then is it worth spending any more time on? And I'm pretty sure we're going to spend a lot more time on this one. If you haven't seen the Ultimate Steam Deck videos, we had like 3 of them. Basically, we just built a new housing for our an external fan, an external dongle, a storage case right here, which is now blocked by the USB port. That's, it's all about like add-ons. It started off with this thing, then we added this thing, now we added that thing, and we also got a built-in kickstand now, so that comes on and off. Hard to show because now I plugged it in. Oh, which way do I pull? I think it's this way. So the kickstand comes on and off. Really cool feature. I just read a comment this morning on, I think it was the Ultimate Steam Deck video, and they were talking about how this thing is no longer portable. Okay, so compared to what? Compared to what? Is it as portable as your cell phone? No. Is it as portable as your laptop? Way more portable than a laptop. I don't understand when people say it's no longer portable. It's still more, it's in the Steam Deck, and all handhelds were always in between a laptop and a cell phone, right? So I just don't get how people can assume that. Poppy here. Guys, thank you so much for getting this far in the video. You're gonna notice a couple things are different. I got braces now. My neck is completely blasted, and I just want to say thank you for making it this far. And please hit that like, hit that subscribe,
hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our other videos. If you're not gonna do it for me, do it for her. Do it for Zena. For every sub we get on this video, she gets a treat.
All right, guys. So we are in here, Steam OS. So we are running stock right now. No overclocks, no nothing. And all right, we're gonna try Monster Hunter. And I got a PS4 controller because I cannot find a cable for this. Oh my god, that looks bad. Oh my god, guys, this looks terrible. Holy shit, this looks bad. Why doesn't this scale to 1080? Let's look into our settings. Maybe this is something I'm doing wrong. Oh my god, this is bad. How can you play like this? Oh my god, this is so bad. Alright, so let's change this UI real quick. Doing well. Why are we doing so well here? Steady 60 frames the whole time. It just looks like hot garbage. We're getting better frames than we are on the Steam Deck. I think because we're scaled down. I think on the Steam Deck, I think it's because it's normally 900p and our max is 720. That's why we're getting such good frames right now. We can't hit, it won't scale to 900p, which the Steam Deck does. That's the reason why. Okay guys, so we're running into some serious issues over here, and what we're going to do next is we are going to just hook up the eGPU and test out some overclocks on Windows. Cool. So we're back here in Windows now. This is all stock. We did 0 overclocks. So we are booting off this SSD right here. It's a PNY SSD, nothing fancy. It's nothing great. It's cheap storage, whatever. We could get another faster M.2, but it's as good. We're bottleneck regardless, so it doesn't really matter. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to make that huge of a difference because we're basically playing off USB 3 speeds, so data speeds are going to be already not that great. Real quick, we are playing off the Ryzen 5800X, so our bottleneck will be the Ryzen 5800X. That is going to be our bottleneck. Okay, we're 2K borderless window. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but we're on medium settings. So what we're probably going to see is our CPU percentage should be always like 100% in The Witcher 3. So we're at 2K medium settings, guys. It doesn't look bad. We're getting 57, 61. Is there a frame cap in this game? All right, we are pegged on the CPU. 99% utilization, which is exactly what we want. This is medium settings, so that's fine. You know, this looks pretty good. We're 100%. I love it. 52 to 54. Our GPU utilization is 58% with 96 on the CPU. Let's just walk around town. We're going to sprint around town, see how we play. Things are kind of chugging, but the game looks pretty dang good at 56, 56, 54, depending on the area. So just the running is just not a good. The hair looks terrible. Do it this way. We're going to be running through town and see kind of our frames and our gameplay. It's really easier here once we get less people in frame, but the more people we get in frame, the more and more our system chugs. Our CPU utilization is not the highest, by the way. We were 100%, now we're in 79, 80, 90. And that might be because our overall wattage might be down. It's going to be very objectively testing. I still don't get, maybe it could be a memory bandwidth issue. And I think we need to go into the BIOS to adjust some things. So we're back here in Windows. We're overclocked now to 4 gigahertz on the CPU. And we're going to see if we see any real noticeable difference in The Witcher 3. We were in that 50, mid 50 range in our current settings, and definitely playable good, playable 2K medium settings. Overall CPU usage is at 65%. Crazy. Our frames are doing really good. We are at 61, 62 with these overclocks, which is we in the 70s now. Holy crap! That 4 gigs really opened up the system. Our GPU utilization is where are we at with the GPU utilization? 66%, I think 70. Um, Kind of where we were at before. Nothing too crazy. Our CPU utilization is still kind of bottlenecked. I would assume we would be in the 90s, but our frame rate is considerably better. And now it's dropped. And now we're in the 50s. Our frame rates are pretty good, but then we do see them drop. And is that a power consumption issue or is that a RAM issue? Because we're only using 9 gigs right now. Our frames look freaking immaculate. Is it a temperature thing? Still better than before. We're staying in the 60s. 60, 61, 64. Our GPU utilization is at 66%. Sometimes we peak into the 70s, low 70s. Our CPU total usage is still pretty low at 70, 71. So I would assume the issue is probably with RAM. We're not utilizing the other. We're currently only using 99.4 gigs of RAM, 9.5. Don't really get it. But overall, we are getting a hell of a lot better frames being overclocked to 4 gigahertz. So one more test we are going to do is we're going to up the TDP to 20 watts. And let's see if we can get above the 64, 65. I wish we had more metrics for the CPU, but it's just not showing that. But let's give it some more power and we'll see how well it does. Oh yeah, this is way better. Definitely staying in the 60s, peaking in the 70s, 75. Wow. So we saw those peaks earlier, 87 frames when there's nothing going on. This is by far the best performance we've been getting in Witcher 3 with the Steam Deck. 20 watts TDP. Our CPU has been boosted to 4,000, and we are running on a 6700 XT. So we have an external graphics card. Still, if you look at our CPU utilization, we're still only at 68%. So my guess is it's going to be RAM. So on a later video, we need to figure out why we're only using 9 gigs of RAM or thinking about overclocking the RAM to see if we get any added benefits. But the one thing I will say, it seems like we are taxing this GPU a little bit more, meaning we are staying in that 70s, mid 70 to mid 70 utilization rate in these busier parts of town, which is a good sign. That means we're requiring more out of the GPU. In a perfect scenario, what you want to see is 100% pegged on the GPU. So meaning that the GPU is running behind the CPU. Obviously, you want 100%. That's a perfect utilization. Overall, this is running really well. 60 solid 60 frames. We're getting dips in the high 50s, but really solid performance. I'm very happy with this. This is playing on 2K resolution on medium. Definitely, this is now a console. So now this is officially a console. I guess, and then that's how we're gonna end this video. Let's talk about it a little bit. Make sure I'm in frame. All right, guys. So I think it's officially now a console. So we are steady 2K settings, 60 frames. So officially the Steam Deck can now be considered a console. 60 frames, 2K is like very good. I think the only ones that can do is the Xbox Series X and PS4 is 30 frames 4K, some 60 frames at 4K, but 2K60 is pretty much a good standard for overall gameplay. This is running really well. I'm very happy with this performance. This 60 frames is smooth and buttery, tied together with a nice monitor or TV. This is perfect. This is this is kind of the reason why it started this whole thing. Now that we have an overclock, we can push our system a hell of a lot more. I think we can still get 100% utilization out of CPU. What we're going to do in later videos is we're going to start pushing the total watt TDP in the system itself and see how well can we keep everything cool. But with all that in mind, we have to understand that, you know, there's a potential that we could break our Steam Deck by pushing these heats to higher levels. But as you can see, with the 20 watt TDP and the overclock to 4 gigahertz, and I'm actually going to try to push it to 4.1 gigahertz and see if we can't get it there. And also I want to figure out, I want to see more schematics on here, and I think it has to do with the custom APU not talking to MSI well. I don't know. I have to do some research on there. This is why I kind of didn't want to do the overclocking stuff, because I just knew it's just a lot of faff. There's so much faff. Hardware is easier. This worked, this doesn't work, take it on, put it on, add something new, make something new, easy, bada bing, bada boom. Now we're talking about systems talking to each other, and right now it's not talking very well, but it's talking well enough to play a game that's pretty decently demanding, triple I for sure, triple A game, and it's playing it well of 60, holding 60 holding 60 frames really well, jumping into the 80s in lower demanding screens. So I guess the closing out on this video is, if you're going to tie a GPU into your Steam Deck, you must overclock it. You have to push your CPU, you have to push your TDP, or you're really kneecapping your performance. We literally, it's like we're 96 frames in a standstill in this portion of the town. I think we were peaking at 70. We basically increased performance by 20% when you think about it. So we were in the mid 50s in the beginning, low to mid 50s in town. We're in the 60s now, 65. So technically it's a 20% increase in frames. I would say even more, because we're really peaking them in the less demanding screens on a standstill here. This is a pretty demanding shot right here. We were in the mid 50s in this scene, mid to low 50s, and now we're in the 70s. So that right there is a 30% gain in performance by just overclocking the CPU to 4 gigahertz and increasing the TDP to 20. So really awesome performance. It's actually better than I expected. That TDP means so much when it comes to overclocking, so you do need to have a good cooling solution, guys. You need to do a good cooling solution to overclock your Steam Deck. I highly recommend it. If not, go down the route of undervolting and get more power out of less juice adding on your Steam Deck. But when it comes to overclocking, pushing it, getting an additional 20 to 30% gains in your Steam Deck when you're tying it with an external GPU, definitely highly recommend working on the overclocks for that and having a good cooling solution. We're going to try to push this even further. One thing that we do need to do is we need to make sure that our IC chip does not overheat. Right now it's covered behind an M.2 dongle, so I don't know if it's getting the adequate cooling solution that we would want out of it. So I really want to fix that problem before we really start pushing the system above that 20 watt TDP. I think it should be okay here with this 20 watt TDP, but to go higher, I would feel more comfortable to fix that cooling solution, and then we'll really push this system, because if we're already getting 20 to 30% increase right now, if we push that TDP a little bit higher, man, we could see like a solid 35 to 40% gain in at least The Witcher 3. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like if you like this video. Hit that subscribe if you loved it. But other than that, guys, I will catch you on the next one.